Tatis, he's going to lead Sports Center. He's done it again. Another home run.
Welcome back to TC2. I'm Blake Prodigy alongside Dylan Smith. Dylan, it's season predictions episode number 23. This is an episode me and you both look forward to every single year. We had a lengthy one last year. I'm sure it's going to be another lengthy one this year for sure.
Yeah, of course. A lot to get into. Standings, playoffs, MVP, Cy Young, breakout players. So
yeah. Let's
we're
kick
gonna
it
get
off.
into it right now.
Yeah, let's go over to the AL West first. We're gonna go. We're gonna rank each division 1 through 5, and then we're gonna pick our 5 playoff teams from each league too. So in the bottom of the AL West, I have the Texas Rangers. I'm sure you do too. This team is just not a very good baseball club this year. They just cut Rougned Odor. They owed him $27 million. The rest of his contract, they just announced today that he's not going to make the club. But this team is bad.
Yeah, you summed it up. They're bad. Their pitching's bad. They let go of Lance Lynn, which was pretty much, other than Joey Gallo, their only bright spot last year.
Right.
But there are some names to watch. Leody Taveras, Nick Solak, Isaiah Kiner Falefa over there. So there's some guys to watch, some young players that are exciting. Overall unit isn't great. The bullpen, if I pulled it up right now, I probably wouldn't know half the names.
Right.
Jose Leclerc, too, needs Tommy John. So,
yes, that's
their all-star closer also out. There's not many bright spots for this team, like I said. But every rebuild, in the end, most likely it's going to be worth it. So,
right.
It'll be interesting. We'll see if they can extend Joey Gallo in the future. But, we'll see what happens.
In 4th, I have the Seattle Mariners. This team is a team that's going to be trending in the right direction. Got a lot of good young players coming up through the system. Who do you got up for?
I have the Mariners also. I'm actually a lot more optimistic on this team than maybe most, would be.
Right.
You would think we'd see Jared Kelenic at some point this year.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they have the reigning Rookie of the Year, Kyle Lewis, who's actually starting not on the opening day roster due to injury. But he'll be back at some point.
They selected the contract of Taylor Trammell too, so it looks like he's gonna play left field opening day, which is good. He's a good up and coming player for them.
Their bullpen, like the Rangers, isn't very good, but the rotation. The rotation on paper isn't
it's not flashy, but they got a lot of guys that can get it done, right?
You got Marco Gonzalez. That guy, he shoves. Then Paxton coming off his injury year. And then after that, obviously, it kind of falls off. You have Kikuchi, who hasn't been great since he came to the U.S.
They got Justice Sheffield, too.
Yeah.
He could be
Justin Dunn. He's got some potential, too.
Right. 3rd, I have the Houston Astros, and people may say, "Oh, well, the Houston Astros, they got a lot of guys that know how to win, stuff like that." But I don't know, man. We were talking about this when we broke down the AL West a few weeks ago. This team just doesn't have a lot of depth, and they don't really have a lot of arms, too. If a guy like McCullers or Greinke goes down, this team's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They have no depth, positionally either. Other than Alemnis Diaz, especially in the outfield.
Right.
You're going to have Kyle Tucker, maybe Jordan play some left, Brantley will play some left. You have Miles Straw, who's supposed to play center field.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the outfield's not looking pretty. Obviously, the infield's stacked. You still got Gurriel, Correa, Altuve, Bregman, and those 4 right there can score you some runs, but the pitching wise,
and you got Alvarez coming back too. He only played 2 games last year. He can hit the long ball. There's obviously some health concerns with him. But yeah, you look at that rotation, man. Greinke, McCullers, Valdez is hurt, and then you got a couple young guys in your Keedy and James.
Yeah. And
Not
James was not good last year. He
no,
walked the world.
he yeah, for sure. In second, I have the Angels coming in second. We talked about that this division could be wide open for anybody to take. It's kind of up for grabs, but I think the Angels got enough pitching to get second place and be that wild card team. I have them taking the second wild card. Their offense just I like their offense on paper. Their pitching could have been improved this year, but I think they did just enough to get them to that wild card spot.
So for me, I mean, this is probably the best team the Angels have put on, the field since 2018. The beginning of or the April of 2018, I'm pretty sure they have the best record in baseball.
They
when Ohtani's Rookie of the Year, he's throwing 100.
Right.
He's having these incredible games where he's taking perfect games in the seventh. Right. He's hitting bombs, and it was a very exciting time. They added Kinsler at the tail end of his career, Cozart in the free agent market, and then it kind of fell apart once Shohei went down. So I would say this is probably the best team they've put since 2018, and maybe you can even dare to say the best team they've put since they had the best record in baseball in 2014. They have Rendon, they have Ohtani, obviously they have Trout. Mm-hmm. Fletcher's going to get on base. And then behind that, you're looking for a bounce-back year from Upton. Right. Jared Walsh had 9 homers in 30 games last year. Went on a tear. You're looking for him to repeat that. Iglesias had a power stroke last year at the Orioles. Hopefully he can repeat that. So there's a lot of hope. You're hoping for a lot. You're hoping Alex Cobb can give you some good innings. He's throwing 95 right now in spring. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to Shohei Ohtani. If he's staying healthy, and if he's going to be that ace guy, and we're going to find out real quickly, he pitches Sunday Night Baseball against the White Sox, this Sunday. If he's going to be that guy for the whole year, then I think the Angels have a chance to win this division. But if he's going to hit the injury bug, it's back to third, fourth place we go. So
you got tickets that Sunday night game. How excited are you to see Ohtani pitch?
Super excited. I've never got to see him pitch before.
Right.
Paid a pretty good price to go to that game. So, it's gonna be fun. I think this team, they finally have a closer in Raisel Iglesias. I think they have a chance. I don't know. Like you said, wide open in the AL West. You have the A's, the Angels, the Astros. All gonna battle it out this whole season.
Yeah, me being a jealous person of you going to the game, I was hoping you get Alex Cobb on Sunday, but you lucked out. You got Ohtani. That should be good. Hopefully he's an electric guy that we've seen in the past. Obviously we got Oakland. Both of us have Oakland winning this division. This team just finds a way to get it done every single year, it seems.
Yep.
Before they made all those additions to the bullpen, we were looking at it, I'm like, who's going to be coming out of the bullpen for the A's? And then they made those flurry of moves, and they got Rosenthal, and they brought Romo in and stuff like that. So they kind of shored that up a little bit, but yeah, on paper, this team is poised to win another AL West division for sure.
Well, yeah, and we didn't think they were going to be competing at all until the last 3 weeks before spring training.
Right.
They add Mitch Moreland and Sergio Romo.
Yep.
They brought back Mike Fiers, who is going to be a back end relieving piece. Trevor Rosenthal is going to be their closer.
And they brought back Petit too. That was a big signing.
Yeah. So, they made some additions late. They kind of put them back in the mix. Obviously, I think this division in particular comes down to injuries.
Right.
There's going to be injuries on every team. It's inevitable.
Yep.
I think the team that stays the most healthy out of the Angels, Astros, and A's, will win this division. Because Chapman obviously is coming off some injury issues, and you need Matt Olson to be that oh crap guy when he comes to the comes in the box and he's coming up with the bases loaded. You're thinking,
there's a grand slam.
This isn't a good thing. And he's got the potential to be the best first baseman in the league. He's already won platinum gloves, and he's got the pop. Now it's just doing it consistently. This team's going to be good. They added Mitch Moreland as a DH, who had a pretty good run with Boston before getting traded over to the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pinder had a pretty good playoffs. So Elvis Andrus at shortstop taking over Semion's going to be a big role.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to highlight. I mean, I think that's a position they definitely downgraded in. But I mean, we're talking about earlier in spring training who's going to be the shortstop for the A's because they didn't really have one. We talked about maybe Chapman going over there playing some short, but they went out and traded for Elvis Andrus for Chris Davis. What did you think of that move? Did you think that was a good move for Oakland to make?
I think that it was better than the options they had.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's a good move, but he's a good vet. He's a veteran guy that you could stick at the top of that lineup and get on base for your guys and be a glue guy. I think he is an Oakland A. You look at him, you've seen him all these years in Texas. I think at this point, he is an Oakland A. And another thing to highlight that we haven't talked about, Jed Lowry's making the opening day lineup.
Are you serious?
So, yeah, or opening day roster, I should say.
Where's he going to – this guy hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah, but it's happened. It's worked 2 times before this. So
he was with the Mets before, right? And didn't play?
Yeah, bad contract. Yeah.
And then but the last season that he was good was on Oakland, right?
Yeah, now he's back.
So I don't know. Maybe they find some lightning in the bottle there.
I don't know what kind of. I mean, let's find out. Let's see.
How's he doing in spring here? Let's take a look.
Jed Lowry, here he is. He's batting 265, 2 bombs, 5 RBIs, with the 856 OPS.
That's not terrible for a bench piece. You know what I'm saying?
For a minor league deal.
Yeah.
That, he used to be like the most underrated guy on that team with 2 different stints. Every time he goes somewhere else, he sucks. But when he's on the A's, he's good.
Let's just check here. When he was, let's see, regular season. So the last season that he was there was 2017. He had 23 homers, 2018, 99 RBI. That was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then what was his other good season?
And then he played 9 games for the Mets.
Yeah. So, and then the year before
and he did not get a hit.
Year before that, he had 14 in 2017. He had 14 bombs, 70 RBI or 69 RBI. So
yeah,
I mean, he's a capable hitter. I mean, he'll give you a pro AB, but I mean, he hasn't played in 2 seasons, or year.
But he's going to play now. So
yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That guy just rakes when he's with the A's.
Yeah.
It feels like I've seen him for the past 10 years. Then he disappears for a while. Then he comes back. He's good again. It's just, I don't know. Something about him and the green and gold, I guess. But let's move on to the NL West.
NL West, obviously, bottom of the cellar. Much like the Texas Rangers, we both got the Colorado Rockies. We've kind of beat on them. It's kind of beating a dead horse a little bit. But it's going to be some dark, dark times for some Colorado Rocky fans for sure.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day Story gets traded.
Yeah.
I want to see him go to a premier team, maybe the Yankees.
Oh, no. They got Glaber, buddy. They don't need him.
Move him over. Move him over.
Move him over to second.
Or third. I mean, who knows what Urshela is going to be. Andujar.
Yeah, Urshela is an interesting guy. We'll get to that when we get to the East, for sure.
But they got the Austin Gomber kid.
Yeah, the Angels kind of touched him up there in his last spring game. Gave up 4 bombs.
But I mean, it's spring. You can't really read. Other than that, I mean, you get C.J. Cron coming back on a minor league deal. Kyle Freeland has a shoulder strain. That's not good for them.
No.
I don't even know who they're. Marquez will probably be opening day starter.
Right.
And Blackman. I mean, I feel like Blackman needs to get traded. You would think that
contract though. I don't know.
See, it's not that bad though if you look at it. If you're doing a contract swap,
if
up a prospect, it's not that bad because
it's got to be like you said, it's got to be money in, money out type thing. You're not just going to take $20 million and give them prospects back, So Colorado's going to have to take one bad contract back for sure if they want want to get him moved. In fourth, I have the San Francisco Giants. This team has some good young pieces in place, but there's also some of those old dogs that have been there from those World Series days that they're going to be moving on from. Belt, Posey, Crawford, Longoria wasn't on those teams, but they're going to be moving on from him right away. So it's kind of a changing of the guard, kind of a trend. They're kind of in a transition phase right now, but they still got some guys.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the catching position specifically. You have Bart, Casale, and Posey.
Right.
So
yeah, the Casale signing was weird. That was
So I mean, then you look over at first base, and you're gonna have Belt, who's I think hurt right now, Posey, and then Tommy La Stella is supposed to play some first base too.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking like, okay, if all these guys are healthy, like how are you gonna play all these guys?
Right.
I have no idea how Posey's doing this spring. I could take a look here.
Well, and the thing with them
Posey's batting .286 with an .873 OPS. Only 21 at bats in spring.
So like they signed La Stella to a 3-year deal. Like he's gonna play. Yeah. Like I'm gonna see where the fit for Donovan Solano is, because he played some second base, he played some third base last year. Maybe they.
Yeah, and he's just picking up where he left off. Spring training, 421 average, 3 bombs, 8 RBIs, 1,100 OPS.
Like he was unreal last year. We raved about that guy last year. So it's gonna be interesting to see where. I mean, maybe they try him in the outfield. Maybe that's a possibility. Move him maybe in the center field. See how he does out there. Maybe.
Don't be surprised if Longo gets sent to the bench.
Maybe.
Still plays some third. I'm looking at Longo's stats right now in spring. 346 average, 4 bombs, 10 RBIs, and a 1,200 OPS.
Like that's like I don't know.
So maybe it's the first base thing. Maybe
Solano plays, base. But Solano he's got to be playing second then.
Well, Longo is playing to get moved. That's just
for
the end
sure.
of the day. He's playing to get traded.
Last year.
No, I don't think so. I think he's got like 3 more years.
Really? Let me look.
Yeah, you have Belt, Posey, and
contract.
Belt all becoming free agents.
Okay. Maybe I just got.
Longo's locked up.
Let me see here.
I think we got still 2 more years of Longo.
Longoria, 3 more years. Oof. 18 and a half, and 2023 is a club option for 13 mil, so they won't pick that up. He'll get his $5 million buyout. So he's got 2 years left. 18 and a half and 19 and a half the next 2 seasons. That's quite the steep cap hit for sure.
Yeah, but I could definitely see him, playing up, getting traded. They eat some money.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's
definitely
that's real.
Definitely an option.
They don't look great on paper, but they do have some guys to watch. Yaz, of course, we can't go without mentioning him. That guy's going to be great. That's going to be their cornerstone.
He's
going
good
forward.
He's good.
And that's, if you want to tune into a game for the Giants this year, that's the guy to watch.
Right. In third, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. Them, like the San Francisco Giants, they got some good young pieces, I guess. Everybody knows who's going to be 1 and 2 in this division. So it's just a matter of where you put the 3 to 5 guys. So Arizona, they got some good young pieces on that team, but I mean, this division is just too good for them to compete.
Yeah, it's just, I'm looking at their roster right now. You got Ketel Marte. That's obviously their star player.
Yeah.
Cole Calhoun's out. They brought in Asdrubal Cabrera. Okay. He'll give you okay at bats. Eduardo Escobar. See if he could bounce back.
David Peralta's
been there forever.
Yeah, he's been there for like 10 years.
And they added Joakim Soria and Tyler Clippard to that pen.
Can Matt Bum bounce back? That's the biggest question for me. If I was a Diamondbacks fan, was like, can Matt Bum rebound from last season and kind of live up to that contract? But yeah, this.
Well, I was gonna say Zach Gallen's hurt. I think.
Right.
He's missing the opening series at least. That's their ace. I mean, that guy.
He was good last year.
Showed all the promise last year. And Mad Bum, I think it's the same thing as Greinke, just playing to get traded at this point. I mean, the contract never made sense when it went down.
I know.
Like, when you saw Mad Bum 5 years to the Diamondbacks, you're thinking, why? They're not going to be good in the next 5 years.
No, I know.
And especially after you just traded your franchise player, Paul Goldschmidt.
Right.
I mean, what was the point? You traded Greinke, you traded Goldschmidt, now we're going to get another 5-year contract with Bumgarner.
Yeah, it was a head scratcher for sure.
But they're gonna have to build. They're gonna have to try to flip some of these pieces. They went and traded Starling Marte.
Yeah,
already.
I don't know why they did that. That didn't make sense to me. Why they gave up on him so early? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But this roster, I'm looking at it right now. I think you could even make you can make an argument that the Giants might come in third.
Yeah, you could make that. You got Arizona coming in third too, right?
As of right now, yeah, because I feel like they're always scrappy. They're kind of like the A's of the NL West.
Right.
But, like I said, I could see the Giants getting third place and being in it up until the deadline and then kind of folding there.
Okay. I have the San Diego Padres finishing second in the NL West and snagging that top wild card spot. This team is so close to the Dodgers. They're kind of right there. I think it's going to be a 3 to 5 game separation between the two. It might be a bold prediction, but I think it's going to be within 3 to 5 for that division, and it's going to come down to the wire, I think. But you just look at this pitching rotation. If the Dodgers didn't go out and get Trevor Bauer, I would have said that this might be the best rotation in baseball, right?
Yeah.
You have.
I think you can still make the argument.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you really could. Hugh Darvish, Blake Snell, Musgrove. What's that other name? Lamet. No, the other guy.
Paddock.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. So, and their bullpen's pretty solid too. So the lineup top to bottom is frightening. So yeah, this team is for real, and it'll be interesting to see how they push the Dodgers this year.
Is there any update on Tatis? I saw Tatis he was having a shoulder strain. I don't know if he's gonna miss the start of the season. You know anything about that?
I didn't see that. I must have missed that.
He's having a monster spring for that. I'm trying to see this.
Let me go look right now.
Yeah, I don't know because he came out of the game.
Injury.
I'd say about a week and a half ago, maybe. It was pretty.
Padres fans breathe a sigh of relief after Fernando Tatis injury. What is this? Right. Let me see. Let me read here.
Let's see.
Suffering an apparent shoulder injury.
Oblique hip flexor? No. Shoulder discomfort.
Oh, right
Why
here.
Does everybody have all this different crap?
Right here. Tatis was looking to get back in the starting lineup the next day, but the team is playing it safe with him. So I don't know if it's too
he'll probably
serious.
he'll miss the IL, but he'll probably miss the first opening series.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get from that.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna maybe just monitor it a little bit. Can't speak today, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, we got the Dodgers taking the crown as they do. Might as well just call this the Dodgers division. Has been the last 10 years they've won the division. So they will most likely take this home again. Yeah, this lineup, man. Bellinger, Seager, Turner, Betts, Muncy, and then starting 5 is nuts. Like, absolutely crazy. Kershaw, Buehler, Bauer. You got David Price as your number 4 starter. Like, what? Like, it's absolutely nuts. It's I think the Dodgers might win 110 games this year.
And I don't think it's a bold take. I mean, they got to play the AL West.
What's the record? 120?
118, I think. Seattle Mariners.
118. Oof. They could come close to that.
I don't think so. I think their team was better last year than it is now. Even with adding Bauer.
Yeah, but
you're missing Kike, you're missing Jock. And
yeah.
Those are some, blankets for those injuries that they have.
Right.
Once you get those injuries, we'll slide in Jock. We'll slide in Kike. Right. You don't have that this year. They're looking for a utility. I mean, is Edwin Rios going to repeat? They have Gavin Lux starting at second base. He's having a really good spring.
Chris Taylor could maybe replace Kike Hernandez's role, possibly.
Yeah, Kike is a better player.
He is a better player for sure, 100%. But
I mean, Gavin Lux is batting .356, the 894 OPS, and there he's expected to start opening day at second base.
Right.
So I mean, he's, they've been waiting on him for 2 seasons now. He didn't play last year; he struggled.
Yeah.
But if they can get him going, he's 23, and he can be an impact. I mean, that might even soften the blow if they lose Seager a year from now.
Yeah.
I don't want to get this is a season prediction, so I don't want to get too far ahead. But
for sure.
Obviously the Dodgers are kings right now, and it would be, you'd have to be kind of dumb not to think that they could repeat.
It's a safe bet. It's a safe bet to take the Dodgers to win. I mean, if I was a betting man, is it crazy to think that the Padres could win that division? No, I don't think that's crazy to say, but I mean, the safe bet is to take the Dodgers for sure. Let's hop over to the AL Central. Obviously we got the Detroit Tigers in 5th. They're rebuilding. They got some good young pieces though. They got Spencer Torkelson coming on the way. I'm not sure if he's going to make an appearance this year, but he's definitely on the way. They got some other good pieces there too.
Yeah, Casey Mize, he should be. I don't know if they option him to get the extra year or not. Haven't seen anything about that yet. But you got Matt Boyd, who, what is he going to be this year? Spring training, he's got a 2.45 ERA. Wouldn't really read into that, but he has pitched 18 innings. Had 19 strikeouts, a WHIP, 1.15. Not terrible, by any means. His batting average against this spring is .231. So. He's walked 6 batters in 18 innings of work. Obviously, for him, it's just throwing strikes. He could walk some guys sometimes. Obviously, Miguel Cabrera, it's just a guy to watch because he's a future Hall of Famer. But other than that, you got Nico Goodrum, who I like to watch, Jacoby Jones. They brought in Nomar Mazara. What can he be? Robbie Grossman, who was underrated on Oakland. Wilson Ramos, I mean, what are you going to get out of him? Probably not much, but, what if he has a bounce back? You flip him at the deadline. They have a new manager, AJ Hinch, coming back from his suspension.
Yeah.
How does he do with a young group of players? He had to take a rebuild job at the end of the day.
Yep.
And then they add some vets in Julio Teheran, Jose Urena. You still have Daniel Norris in that rotation. So, we'll see. Jonathan Scope's definitely a trade candidate in the future. Michael Fulmer hasn't looked good in spring, but what can he be? Maybe they can get him going. Lots of opportunities here as far as building for the future.
Right.
I think this year they're going to take, one step closer. And I wouldn't be surprised, come next offseason after they get that high draft pick, they're going for some free agents to try to build this thing up and take over the Central. I mean, I don't think it's out of reach.
In 4th, this is very bold. I have the Cleveland Indians in 4th. I just think that they're just going to be sellers and they're going to be heading towards a rebuild. I don't think this team's good enough to kind of retool on the fly. I mean, you just traded Lindor. I mean, yeah, you got Bieber, you got Plesac, you got some good pitching there. But I mean, if I was the general manager of the Indians, I'd be looking to trade Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Royals in 4th.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go into them. But as far as your question of, I'd be looking to trade Jose Ramirez, I think they're going to try to extend him. We'll see what happens. I don't know if that would be worth it or not. Yeah. But you need somebody to draw the fans in.
Right.
But I'm going to get over to the Royals because that's my 4th place team.
Yep.
And my outlook on them is they had a really good offseason. I think that they had a great offseason, actually, for what, for their financial capabilities. And at the end of the day, I just think the Indians have that starting pitching that can win them some ball games no matter who they have in the lineup.
Right.
Still got Bieber, reigning Cy Young, Tristan McKenzie, Plesac.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that the Indians just have a little bit better of a rotation, a little bit better of pitching, and they usually just find ways to win close ball games. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Royals come in fourth, and it's not a knock to them because I like the Andrew Benintendi trade. I like the Carlos Santana signing.
Mm-hmm.
Michael A. Taylor was a small signing. They just re-signed Salvador Perez, who's their franchise catcher and has earned that money that they gave him.
Yep.
Mike Minor coming back on a pretty team-friendly deal. So they brought back some familiar faces with Wade Davis and Greg Holland. So
Yep.
We'll see what Brad Keller can be. I think that's the big question for them. Is Brad Keller going to continue to put up number 2, number 1 numbers? And if so, can we add on this offseason and
Brady
try to
Singer
build something?
Brady Singer's another guy in that rotation that you got to maybe keep an eye on. Yeah, I got Kansas City in third for all the reasons you just mentioned. I like their offseason. I think they could surprise some teams this year. In second, I have the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota is going to be in the hunt for that wild card spot. I think they're a good team, but I just think the White Sox are too superior in that division.
Yeah. We'll see what Donaldson could be. That's
he's got to stay healthy,
man.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, and they brought back Nelson Cruz, which is huge. You got Max Kepler.
Mm-hmm.
They have Simmons playing short now. That's they'll get to move Polanco over to, more of a friendly position, defensive friendly position. They added Jay Happ. They added Matt Shoemaker in the rotation. So that's kind of a hit, when you're losing Odorizzi, even though he didn't pitch much last year.
Right.
But the year before that, when they were one of the most dominant teams in baseball, he was one of their best pitchers. So they added Alex Colomé in the pen. That'll be a good move. What can Barrios step up? Can he actually be a number 1? I mean,
that's a question.
He's got the potential, but it's just never worked out that way.
Yeah.
Can Kenta be a Cy Young candidate again? Probably not.
Yeah.
But if he saw in each innings like he did in LA, you'll take that all day. So I think this is a team that's still going to make the playoffs. I have them making a wild card.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I know we'll circle back to that later on.
Yep.
But I think this team makes a wild card based off of they got to play the NL Central. So like I said, we'll get into that later. But you got anything else on the Twins?
No. I mean, this team's going to hit a lot of home runs. They're going to score a lot of runs. Everybody knows that, but I don't know. I just don't know if they have the pitching to get them to that wild card spot. It'll be something to keep an eye on for sure. Obviously, we got both of the White Sox taking this division. Although the loss to Eloy Jimenez, that's a huge loss. He tore his pec. He's going to be out 5 to 6 months. That's a big blow for the White Sox.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, last year they signed Edwin Encarnacion. Obviously, that didn't go too well. You were thinking kind of Eloy can fill that DH spot this year. So it's a big bat in their lineup they're missing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's guys like Yasiel Puig that's available.
Yeah.
He hasn't been picked up for whatever reason. I could totally see him going over there and playing there. They signed Jake Lamb today. I mean, nothing.
Oh, they did.
Really,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, nothing to really keep an eye out for, but you never know. I mean, he had potential in Arizona. That was a couple of years ago. Sometimes guys just go to a certain organization. Hey, sometimes they just go somewhere and they just take off. I mean, that could be a case.
Right.
Obviously, that's best case scenario. We're not expecting that.
Yeah.
But you got the reigning AL MVP in Jose Abreu. You got Tim Anderson, who's a batting champion. You brought back in Adam Eaton to play right field, who's an underrated guy at the top of the order.
Yep.
You have Yasmani Grandal. You have Zach Collins behind the plate, too, who's pretty good.
You
added Lance Lynn in the rotation.
Right.
Kopech's coming back. This team, to me, is the best team in the American League. We haven't even brought up Yohan or Luis Robert, whatever you want to say. This team is Nick Madrigal. What if he comes through? I mean, Liam Hendricks in the 9.
You know who a guy to keep an eye on is, who might be like under the radar, is Andrew Vaughn. He's one of their top prospects. Came up as a first baseman, and he actually got some playing time in left field in the spring training. So maybe they shift him out to left to kind of replace Eloy out there. But he's probably going to get a shot to crack the roster because of the injuries.
Yeah, I did see that too. Very intriguing. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean,
he's young. He's 21.
I could totally see them doing kind of like a Yasmani Grandal DHs and Zach Collin DHs, kind of like let them flip back and forth.
Yep.
There's some options. This is a deep team.
Yep.
Obviously, they have a really good farm.
Yep.
They got. I want to go back to that rotation. Giolito, Keuchel, who's top 10 Cy Young, Lance Lynn, who's a top 10 Cy Young. Then you got Dylan Cease, who's had has looked pretty good. And the back end, I mean, you either got Kopech.
Rodon. How do you say that?
Oh, yeah, Carlos Rodon.
Rodon, yeah.
Reynaldo Lopez just got optioned, so he won't be in the rotation to start, but still, some depth there.
Yeah.
The bullpen, Crochet and Hendricks.
And Bummer. Yep.
Bummer. I mean, this is a good team, man.
This team, we're going to get into this later, but this is a World Series contending team for sure. 100%. Top to bottom, this team is loaded.
Think about what they add at the deadline.
Yeah.
Man, this team, how much better can it really get? I mean, maybe we're just a little high on them right now. I mean, I am, but, I don't know. Let's get in the East, or the NL Central.
NL Central. So, obviously, the bottom, probably going to be the worst team in baseball this year, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not much to say there. They're going to continue building. Obviously, you mentioned in the NL Central spring preview episode about Brian Hayes. That'll be definitely a guy to keep your eye on if you're a Pirates fan, but not much excitement. They just traded Josh Bell last year. Brian Reynolds, I guess, he's a guy that is a good player for them, but not much excitement for sure for Pirates fans.
Yeah, I don't got really any high spots on this team other than Brian Hayes.
Yeah.
Like you said, Reynolds, I like him.
Yeah.
Jacob Stallings wasn't bad, but he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
Gregory Polanco, he's 29, been there forever. Will Crow, see what he can be. Obviously came over for Josh Bell, like you mentioned. I mean, I don't know. I mean, their outfield, Brian Goodwin, Anthony Alford, and maybe Dustin Fowler.
Yeah, well, you got Reynolds out
and
there.
Polanco.
Reynolds is center, right?
I think Reynolds doesn't he play the infield as well?
I think he plays second base and center field, I want to say.
Have him listed as a left fielder.
Okay.
And he's having a spring.
Yeah,
318, 3 bombs, 9 RBIs, 946.
He's good. He's very good. In fourth, this may come to a surprise for Cubs fans. I have the Cubs in fourth. I just don't think this team, the pitching, they don't have the pitching. The reason why I put them in fourth is because I think this team is going to blow it up this year. I think Rizzo already broke off contract talks with them. Bryant, that relationship is fragile as heck. And then is Contreras a free agent after this year too, or they have him under contract?
Still under contract.
Okay,
Javi's a free agent.
Javi's a free agent. Bryant's a free agent. Rizzo's a free agent. That's three huge parts of that team. So they're gonna have to figure out this year if they want to push for a playoff spot or if they want to head towards a kind of a rebuild, retool year, in which I think it's gonna be the latter.
Yeah. I have the Brewers in fourth actually. And I just don't like this team. I don't. Unfortunately. Because I really like Christian Yelich. I really like JBJ.
Yeah.
I really like Lorenzo Cain. But that infield, is Keston here going to be good? He's going over to first base. Orlando Arcia is their shortstop.
You can't forget about Travis Shaw and Daniel Vogelbach, bro.
Colton Wong, that's going to be a good piece at second base.
Right.
Like you said, Travis Shaw maybe playing third base. Daniel Robertson, third base. No offense to those guys. Shaw was good on the Brewers, but he hasn't been good for the past 3 years. Robertson that I just mentioned, he looked good when he was on the Rays, and then I kind of fell off for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that rotation, I mean, it's top two heavy. I mean, you have Brandon Woodruff, and you have the other guy.
He got hurt for the playoffs.
Corbin Burns.
Corbin
Sorry.
Burns. Yep, Corbin Burns.
So you got Burns. And
They're
then, like I said, Woodruff, and then after that, I mean, Brett Anderson, Josh Lindblom, Freddie Peralta, who has pretty nasty stuff, but has never done much with it. But that bullpen's where it's at. I mean, you got Hader, Hauser.
They're going to win a lot of games from the pen. The pen is
Devin Williams, obviously.
The pen's going to win them a lot of games, for sure.
And I don't know.
I have him
feeling it.
I have him in second place. I don't know. Something just about that team. I think they're going to find a way. They're not going to win the wild card. They're not going to take a wild card spot, but I like Milwaukee more than Chicago, and I like them better than Cincinnati for some reason. I don't know.
My thing is with the Cubs is just, that team won a World Series at the end of the day.
Right.
And you added Jock, and Jason Hayward's still out there. Like, the lineup is still good enough to put up runs. Even with, getting rid of Schwarber. Jock's been going off this spring.
That pitching staff, though.
No, it's not. It's not good at all. But, yeah. I mean, you have Hendricks.
Right.
I'd rather have Jake Arrieta than three of the guys in the rotation that the Brewers have. On top of that, the Alec Mills kid didn't do terrible last year. And then you have Trevor Williams that came over, who's just as good as the three guys in the Brewers rotation.
Right.
So is the Brewers rotation that much better than?
No, it's I don't know. But the bullpen, though, that's what kind of sets it apart, right, from the Cubs. And,
Zach Davies is a good arm. Zach Davies is in the rotation too. We didn't even mention him.
Mm-hmm.
But that bullpen with the Cubs isn't great. I mean, Kimbrel hasn't been great, but relievers are tricky. You got Tepera, you got Workman.
Year. Right.
I'm looking at Chafin. He's old, but he's only 30 years old.
Yeah.
Man.
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah. So, dude, I like the Cubs lineup better than I like the Milwaukee's lineup. And obviously, Brewers bullpen might be the best.
You got the Cubs in third.
I have the Cubs in third.
And you have Cincinnati in second. I have Cincinnati.
Got Cincinnati in second.
Right. I got them in third. So I just don't know the direction of this team. We say it every time we talk about the Reds, right? I mean, what are they going to do with Castellanos? What are they going to do? They were talking about maybe trading Suarez. Can Senzel be the player they thought he was going to be, right? There's a lot of question marks with that. We got
to talk about our friend of the pod.
Yeah.
TJ Antone is shoving.
Yes.
He is shoving in spring.
Did he win a job?
I think so. I think he's making the rotation. I know he had a little bit of a groin thing going on, but he was throwing 100 miles per hour. Never seen TJ throw 100 miles per hour. TJ.
How's he doing this spring?
1.17 ERA.
How many innings?
7.
How many punchies?
7, 2/3, 13 Ks.
Good stuff. Yeah. I'm happy for him, man. Friend of the show.
Well, awesome obviously he had a little, like I said, the groin thing. I think that took away a start. I'm not sure. Maybe they start him in the bullpen. But even if you do, you still have Castillo and you have Gray. Castillo and Gray is better than the Cubs number 1 and 2. You can argue the Brewers 1 and 2. The numbers they put up last year could beat that out. Right. But Michael Lorenzen's showed some stuff over the past couple of years. He's getting a rotation spot. They added Sean Doolittle in the pit. Like, I feel like this team still has – they have the better lineup than the Brewers as well. To me.
Okay.
You still got Castellanos, and Moustakis, and Votto, who's kind of on the tail end. But Eugenio, Winker went off last year.
Yeah.
This team could hit some – Akiyama was pretty good his first year that came over.
Right.
I just think that this team is going to have a better chance this year than they did last year for some reason. even though they had Bauer, like I feel like this year there's not as much expectation, and they might just fly under the radar, and you might even take this division. That might be a little too high, but this Central is pretty wide open.
So one of your bold takes? The Reds?
I said maybe. I mean, I still think the Cards are in first, and we both have them in first.
Right.
Who do you have in second? The Brewers?
I have I got Pittsburgh in 5, Chicago in 4, Cincinnati 3, Brewers 2, and then St. Louis 1. St. Louis is Miles. Probably this is for no doubt about the best team in the division. They went on and got their guy Arenado. There's some depth there, issues there. In the outfield a little bit. I would have liked to go out and get a JBJ type players, play some center field for him. We'll see what Dylan Carlson does. We'll get to that when we talk about breakout players, but he's definitely a guy for them.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Carlson had a pretty decent first year for them. I don't know. This team for me is just like you said. The outfield is a little sketch.
Mm-hmm. They got Tyler.
Yeah,
O'Neill.
Actually, Dylan Carlson only batted 200 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, first 35 games in the league, but I mean he's a minor league monster. Like he's gone off. Coming through the system.
Right.
But Arenado, where's Carpenter gonna play? Is Edman gonna move to the outfield?
I think that's the move. I think the move is to put Edman in the outfield and put Carpenter at second base. Like I think it's probably not ideal to put Carpenter at second base, but I think that would be the move.
The bullpen's looking like Miller might be the closer this year.
Yeah. You got how do you say that? Gallegos?
Gallegos. Yeah.
Gallegos, yeah. So he's there.
Giovanni Gallegos,
yeah. So
and then they have let's see here. Kim will make the rotation.
Right.
Hudson will make the rotation. Mikolas, obviously, rotation. Flaherty, rotation.
Carlos Martinez.
Martinez, is he going to be in the bullpen?
Is he going to be a sixth guy, a fifth guy, or is he going to be in the bullpen? I don't know.
Alex Reyes, I don't know really how much they've been using him, if it's in a bullpen light or, in a rotation role. This 7 games this spring, so I'm going to assume that's a reliever.
Yeah.
2.35 ERA in spring with a 1.04 WHIP, 10 Ks in 7 innings. That might be something to watch.
Yep.
Yeah, this team's good. I mean, they got the superstar power when it comes to Arenado and Goldschmidt.
Yep.
And they're the Cardinals. It seems like they're just a winning franchise.
Yep. They always.
I don't really have much on this team. They got to add more at the deadline to win a World Series, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, they're not quite there yet, but they have enough to win their division for sure. Let's hop over to the East. Let's go to the AL East first. Obviously the Baltimore Orioles. We both have them 5th. They got some building pieces. Obviously a feel-good story for Trey Mancini coming back from his cancer treatments. But yeah, pitching issues there and lots of depth issues too for sure.
Yeah. Real quick, I mean, you got Mountcastle. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm looking at.
Yep. Yeah.
Mancini, Mountcastle, Rio Ruiz, maybe.
Don't they have Freddie Galvis
Santander. Elvis. Yeah. I see what John Means does. Other than that, I mean, Matt Harvey's their number 2 starters. Not much to say.
Yeah, it's not much. Over in 4th, I have the Red Sox. I just think that the top 3 teams in this division, I just don't think the Red Sox, I don't think they have the pitching to compete, and B, like, injuries could be a serious problem for this team.
I did like the Red Sox, and I think the Red Sox are either going to go like I have them in 4th place, or they're going to surprise everybody and just be good.
Okay.
The thing that I liked about their offseason, they added guys that can play multiple positions.
Yeah, Kike.
They got Marwin and Kike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Marwin Gonzalez, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, obviously, JD Martinez is going to have to be JD Martinez for them to even sniff a playoff spot. Marwin Gonzalez in 50 ABs is batting 300 with 3 bombs, 884 OPS, 11 RBIs.
And Kike is batting 340, 3 bombs, 7 RBI with 1,000 OPS. So he's been good, and it's gonna be something to keep an eye on.
The pitching's not good. I mean,
no.
The pitching's not good, but I mean, you have Houck to look out for. That guy that we talked about before. It's kind of like the righty Chris Hill, apparently. A name that I will bring up later for my breakout player. I don't want to say him now.
Yeah.
You got Bogarts. You got Devers, obviously. Hunter Renfroe, maybe he can do something with the monster there for 80 games.
Verdugo too.
Rotations, Rodriguez, Erod, Richards.
That's
pretty
about
much
it.
After that, yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Martin
Matt
Perez.
ain't gonna do much. Yeah, Martin Perez. So will be back, you would think, at some point, but
yeah,
at that
I think
point,
it's gonna be
probably
too
out of it.
late. Yeah, it's gonna be too late.
And who knows what he's gonna be after? I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard to come back to Tommy John and be an immediate impact.
For sure. In third, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. I think they're going to be right there for a wild card spot. I don't like what they did try to replace those two pitchers, which is Blake Snell and Morton. I mean, they do it differently, but I mean, you got Morton and Snell, or you can have Rich Hill, Michael Walker. You know what I mean? Like and Chris Archer. Like if you're banking on Chris Archer to be 2014 Archer, you're in for a wild ride, because that ain't happening. That's way too much to ask for. So, like, that's a lot to ask for Chris Archer.
You never know. The Rays do some amazing things.
We'll see. I mean, maybe some familiarity will.
This team on paper does not excite me.
No, it doesn't.
But with that being said, they always kick teams' ass. So
yeah.
I can totally see the Rays winning this division or coming in third. I have them in third.
Right.
Just based off of me looking at paper and saying, nope, that's not a first place team.
Yeah.
But they're the Rays and they win. So
they're like Oakland. They're like, okay, they're in first place here. How's this possible? But yeah, they always find a way. In second, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. I have them taking a wild card spot. The first wild card spot. I don't think it's probably going to be like how many games back do you think they're going to be from the Yankees, if you had to guess? What's that?
7 or 8.
What happened to your mic? Your mic going on me?
Can't hear me?
No, it's like it just died. Your mic just like died on me. Did it unplug? Oh, you're muted. Talk again?
7 or 8.
Oh, what the heck? It's just like it's just like faded for some reason. I don't know. 7 or 8 games, you said.
You got me now?
Barely. I don't know. Did you hit a button on your mic?
Didn't do anything.
Check your microphone. It might have went to your AirPods.
Nope, it's off now.
Huh. Sorry, some technical difficulties here. Trying to get this figured out.
All right, I flipped her over to my AirPods for now.
All right, yeah. We're gonna have to go. We're almost done the pod here. We're on the AL East. Yeah. So 7 or 8 games.
Almost done, man.
Yeah, seven or eight games. This is definitely a lengthy podcast for sure. Yeah, Toronto. I like what they did in the offseason. Obviously, I'm a Blue Jays fan. They brought in Springer. They're hoping that he can play opening day. He's dealing with that oblique strain right now. Robbie Ray is going to miss one start. So they're probably going to go with Ryu, Stripling, and Matz, if I had to guess, in the Bronx. Matz has been sparkling this spring, man. I think his ERA is like 1.2, and he's like 2-1, and he's limiting his walks. He's doing good in his strikeouts. So, yeah, that's definitely a bright spot for the Jays.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this team is it's built to contend, but it's not built to be a contender, if that makes sense. Like, right. They're built to be in the mix, but I wouldn't say they're built to take this division just yet. I think they're on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way.
I think they're on their way. I think it's a year or two away. They're going to have to continue to add. They're going to have to give up some pieces in that farm.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as making the playoffs this year, I have them, coin flipping with the Angels right now.
Yeah.
And on top, behind that, you got, the Rays and the Astros. It's a big coin flip for those 4 teams.
Yeah.
In my opinion. We'll get into that in a bit. But, there's only one player for me, and we talked about this off air. It's oh crap, this guy's coming up to the plate. That's George Springer, and he's hurt right now.
Right.
I think this is a team that has an abundance of guys that have good players and then guys that could be great, like Vlad and Bichette. But they just haven't done it yet. I think Bichette, has done it for the most part of being, this could be an all-star caliber player.
Right.
Vlad hasn't shown it. Teoscar had a good last year. We'll see if he can repeat it. Gurriel, we'll see what he can do. So those guys are just good players, and by the numbers, good players, but they're not guys that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, man, they have Teoscar Hernandez, But
Yeah.
I am thinking, damn, George Springer's leading off games.
Yeah.
That's a superstar, an all-star.
Yeah.
So I think they need a couple more of those. Semien, in my opinion, really good shortstop. Really good shortstop, but he doesn't, I've watched him in the AL West. I'm more scared of Matt Chapman and Matt Olson than I was Marcus Semien when he was at the A's.
For sure. Yeah. Something to keep an eye on. I mean, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is tearing the cover off the baseball this spring. He's batting .421 in the spring, 2 homers, 10 RBI, a 1247 OPS, and it's just he just looks calm at the plate. He's lost 40 pounds. He looks more loose, if that makes any sense. He's crushing the baseball like he was down when he was in AA and AAA. I mean, balls are coming off the bat like 114, 117 off the bat. So he's having an electric spring. And he's really improved at first base too. He's really put in the work. I feel like he looks more comfortable over there at first base. So he's also started some games at third base too in the spring. So that's something to keep an eye on too.
How's the mic now? Good?
No, I don't know what happened. It's maybe unplug it and plug it back in. Oh yeah, I don't know. Go back to your AirPods, I guess. I don't know. It's did you turn it down?
How we doing? Good?
Turn it up more?
Test?
Oh, now it's more. It's just echoey. It's echoey. I don't know.
This sucks.
Yeah, sorry about that for the listeners. Yes, your AirPods are they're okay, not as good as your mic, but that's odd how it just went on you.
All right, I switched them over. It sucks, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. So obviously we have the Yankees winning this division. On paper, this is a World Series team. They're a contending team. They got a top to bottom, Stanton, Judge, Glaber, Aaron Hicks if he can stay healthy. Like Luke Voigt, he's going to start the year on the IL with a meniscus, but the pitching would concern me. Can Kluber give you some vintage Kluber? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this team is just going to be how is that rotation going to shape out, like you just talked about.
Yeah.
And then who do they add at the deadline type of thing. I think this team's built to win a World Series. We've seen them get to the playoffs multiple times and just couldn't get over the hump, whether that was the Astros cheating or them just falling short. But, at the end of the day, they're going to have to add. I think this is one of those teams that has to add. I had the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series last year on our prediction show, and this year kind of opened my eyes. I mean, I don't think that their pitching got better, and they're going to have to add some pieces.
Let's hop over to the NL East quick here. In 5, I got Miami. They surprised a lot of teams last year, made the playoffs in a shortened season, obviously expanded playoffs and all, but this team is still a ways away.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to write them off just because they didn't make the playoffs last year. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, they're going to repeat this. They're going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
But I just don't, like I said, I'm going off the paper. I'm looking at the roster, and it's just not good enough. It's this team, this division is just stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to beat the Braves? No. Are they going to beat the Mets? Probably not. Beat the Nats? Probably not. We'll see.
In fourth, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. This team just didn't get better. We talked about this in the preview division breakdown. This team is pretty much exact same team as it was last year.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to get better other than adding to their bullpen, and even the arms they added to their bullpen, debatable to say they got better. I would say they got better, but they didn't get an impact player that was like, oh crap.
They got a couple names like Archie Bradley and Jose Alvarado are good names, but I mean they're not like lights out guys that are you're like, oh shit, I got Archie Bradley coming in the ninth. He doesn't scare me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that rotation they replaced area with Chase Anderson, which you could say whatever you want about that. Right now they on their active roster they have Matt Moore. That's not encouraging. You still got Wheeler, you still got Nola. And this team's got the firepower offensively. It's just, are they going to be able to pitch? And I don't know. This is just one of those teams that, to me, I see a lot of my favorite team, the Angels, in this team. But I would even say at this point, I'm looking at this team, the Angels have got better pitching than this.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And I don't know. Hopefully they can get it together because Bryce Harper didn't sign there to lose. And you would love to see Bryce Harper just as much as you would like to see, Trout in the World Series. You want to see Bryce Harper there too.
100%. I have the Mets in third. I have the Mets missing the playoffs. I like what they've done this offseason. I just feel like the Mets are gonna Met. They're gonna find a way to miss the playoffs somehow. They haven't scored a lot of runs in the past. They've won a lot of games based off pitching. I don't know if that can continue. I don't know if that's definitely not a recipe for success to rely on pitching to win you games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, can you hear me now?
A little bit.
A little bit?
There we go. It's back.
Oh, it's back.
What happened? What happened?
I just said USB audio on there.
Oh,
popped on.
There we go. That's a lot better. There we go.
All right, I'm back. Okay. I have the Nats in third. I know you got the Mets, and then you're talking about the Mets.
Yeah.
I have the Nats in third, so we kind of have them flip flopped. For me, the Mets, they're pitching it's phenomenal. The starting rotation, I think just based off of that, they're gonna win games. So,
I don't know.
That's the deciding factor for me. I know the Nationals have a good rotation too. I mean, the Mets got a deep rotation, especially if Syndergaard comes back and they are all healthy somehow.
Right.
Because injuries do happen. DeGrom.
Well, Carrasco's hurt right now, right?
Carrasco. Peterson. I feel like we're missing somebody too, but
the outfield could be a lot better.
But they got better though. They got Lindor now. And Lindor, is gonna make an impact.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're telling me that Josh Bell and Schwarber are gonna take the Nats over the Mets? Is that what you're saying?
I just like the thing is I like the Nats lineup more than the Mets, and the Nats have enough pitching to compete with the Mets pitching, right? Would you agree?
The Mets bullpen on paper is nasty.
But they gotta produce though. You know what I mean?
So the Nats bullpen.
Oh, the Nats.
Will Harris just got hurt. He had a blood clot.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So
I like the Nats. Well, they got Hudson.
Yeah, that's right.
They got Daniel Hudson.
Oh, Taijuan Walker. That's who we need to bring up.
They got the Nats also signed Brad Hand too to close some games for them.
Did you hear me about that? Taijuan Walker?
Yeah, Taijuan Walker. Yeah.
But they added James McCann. That's better behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Alonso, McNeil, Lindor, J.D. Davis.
Pilar and Nimmo in center though, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you got Conforto out there too.
You do got Conforto. Who would you have in left? Would it be like Dom
Smith is gonna get some left field he's gonna get a little bit in the outfield, but you know, I don't know if that's gonna be a go-to thing. I think that's just to get his bat in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
They have Albert Almora Jr. Don't know if he's planning to start there or they plan to start him there. I don't know. I think the Mets. I think they're not done adding. I feel like if they go through a little stretch, don't be surprised if they make an addition. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just think that the Nats got to stay healthy too. And that pitching, Strasburg's got some issues. Scherzer's getting older. Corbin's really the most reliable in that.
Lester too. Right, they got Lester, Joe Ross. Joe Ross doesn't really do much for me, but I have Washington taking a wild card spot. I do. I'm buying what Washington is selling right now. I think they're going to be good enough to snag a wild card spot. We mentioned that this division is the best division in baseball. Honestly, the Mets and the Nationals, maybe not. I'm not going to say it. Maybe take both wild card spots, but I don't think the Padres would miss. If the Padres miss, that's a colossal disaster, like a collapse. But obviously, we have the Atlanta Braves taking home this division. This is another one of those teams that are poised to take a run at a World Series. They were 1 win away last year to the Dodgers. We'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, this team's for real.
Yeah, not much to talk about. You got Acuna, you got the MVP Freeman, Albies at second, Swanson's exciting at short.
Yeah.
They
brought back Ozuna.
Yeah, Zuna's back. That rotation could, they added Morton. You still got Soroka coming back. You got
Fried.
Ian Anderson, I think, actually got not Anderson.
You got Max Fried too.
Fried, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of somebody just got DFA'd. Not DFA'd, optioned down. It wasn't Anderson. It was another young guy, pitcher. They did it for eligibility. I gotta look this up. It's gonna bother me. Let's see. It's gotta be on the 40 man.
Let's take a look.
You're gonna know the name right when I think of it.
Bryce Wilson?
Yeah, no. Kyle Wright. Kyle
Wright. Yeah. And Bryce Wilson got option to the alternate site too. So
yeah. So they're gonna do some stuff to get some extra eligibility, but Morton, let's see what he can be. And I haven't really seen much over the spring. I'm gonna check him out real quick.
They placed Tuki Toussaint on the 60-day DL too.
Morton hasn't given up a run all spring.
How many innings?
Apparently. 10.
Really?
Well, something to keep an eye on. Obviously, he's getting up there. He's 37, but he's still been dominant.
Yeah.
But we're done. We're done talking about these teams.
Yeah. Let's get into some. We talked for like an hour.
Yeah, and we already did a divisional breakdown podcast, and we still talked about these teams. So I'm done talking about the Pirates and Tigers.
Yeah, let's go into some AL and NL MVP picks. For the AL MVP, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell the listeners who we think is going to win, and we're going to each give one sleeper for the MVP. I'll start with you. Who do you got winning the AL MVP?
No surprise here, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
He said he had a bad year last year, was 5th in the MVP. So I'm expecting him to just destroy the league this year because he's pissed off about last year.
Yeah, okay, Mike. We'll believe every word you say about that. Yeah, I also got Mike Trout taking home the MVP. A sleeper for me, Gleyber Torres. I think Gleyber Torres, he's had a really good spring, 273. He's got 1,000 OPS. He's hit 5 bombs. Looks like he's really seeing the ball well. Last year, let me just pull up his stats from last year. Last year, he batted 240 with only 3 home runs. So looking for him to have a bounce-back season and see if he can put it together.
Yeah. So obviously I'm going to pick somebody that had a bad year and has something to prove.
Yeah.
That's Jose Altuve. Okay, yeah. The little man's got is gonna have to pick it up and
to hit
show
without
us.
the trash cans. He's got to learn to hit
Yeah.
without them trash cans.
And I'm looking at his spring, 212 average, 697 OPS.
697.
Yeah, so
Oof.
not looking great for
No.
my dark horse pick
No.
in the AL.
Yeah.
But it's spring training. You can't, can't make it all, freak out after spring.
Yeah.
I think this guy's got to prove it. This
Right.
guy's got a lot of pressure on him. And if he came back and he won the MVP this year, if he went 30 bombs, 25 bags, batted 330, the typical Jose Altuve, and he did it,
Yeah.
it would shut a lot of people up.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued about Jose Altuve. I want to see it. I want to see what happens here.
Yeah.
But going over the NL, I'm going to let you do your pick because I got 4 names written down I still haven't chose.
You better pick one. You better pick one. I got Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto is one of the best hitters in all of baseball at the ripe age of 22 years old. Absolutely crazy what he's doing. He's going to be a huge part of that if the Nationals do decide to make the playoffs this year. But yeah, I'm gonna toss it over to you. I gave you about 20 seconds to decide. Who did you go with, buddy?
So my 4 names are Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Tatis, and Acuna. My mind tells me Betts. My heart tells me Tatis. Okay. My gut tells me Acuna. Okay.
So you're going with Acuna.
And I want to go with I'm going to go with Mookie Betts.
All right. That's probably the right choice.
I'm going with Mookie Betts because I think that he'll be the most consistent next to Juan Soto. I just don't want to do Juan Soto because you chose him.
Yeah.
Tatis is going to be electric. Acuna is going to be electric, but they're gonna have their little slumps.
Yep.
Mookie a little bit more consistent.
Right.
So I can see him, especially he's gonna have a lot of opportunity to score some runs. I mean, Tatis and Acuna will too. I like the protection for all these guys other than Soto, but I don't know. I don't think I have to defend it. I'm gonna go with Mookie Betts. My dark horse. I don't know if you gave yours. Did you?
Mine is Chris Bryant.
Okay.
He's a guy that has won the MVP in the past. Not having a great spring. Was not very good in last year's short season. So, if the Cubs want to make the playoffs, Chris Bryant's gonna have to have an MVP type season.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna say you're wrong about that. I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot of things to make the playoffs. My dark horse, even though I don't like the team, I like this guy, and that's Christian Yelich. Okay, he's batting 400 this spring, 3 bombs, a 1400 OPS.
Yeah.
Okay, 1400 OPS. This guy batted 200 last year.
Yeah.
Or he's coming off that kneecap injury. Yelich may be forgotten right now with all these electric stars.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised this guy just ends up destroying the National League like he did 2 years ago.
All right, Cy Youngs. Let's start in the AL. Who is your top 3 and who is a sleeper for you?
In the AL, right?
AL, yeah.
Yeah. I got Bieber in 3rd, Ryu in 2nd, and Garrett Cole taking the crown. My sleeper would have to be Corey Kluber. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
You want sleepers, it's Corey Kluber.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what he can do in the Bronx. What if he has a better year than Garrett Cole?
Yeah.
That's something to watch out for.
Definitely.
If he is that guy, the rest of the league's in trouble.
Oh, yeah. If Kluber is 2016, 2017 Kluber, yeah, I'm shitting my pants over here for sure. I got Lucas Giolito 3rd, Shane Bieber 2nd, and I also got Garrett Cole winning the Cy Young. My sleeper is Jesus Luzardo from Oakland. I think he could be a really good arm for them, and he's gonna be a big part of that rotation. NL Cy Young, who do you got?
I have Snell in 3rd, Buehler in 2nd, and DeGrom, of course, taking the crown.
Yep.
DeGrom's been electric this spring. I don't know if you saw he's throwing 102 miles per hour.
No
So he
Scherzer?
just keeps getting better. Scherzer, I think, is just for me. I think there's gonna have a little bit of injury bug.
Yeah.
Same with Kershaw. I would love to put Kershaw in this mix, but it's just the back's gonna flare up.
Yeah.
He's gonna miss a couple starts. I mean, it's just bound to happen.
I got. Did you say your sleeper?
My sleeper's Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo. Okay.
He gets to face the NL and the AL Central the whole year, just like Bauer and Darvish did last year.
Yep.
So don't be surprised if he's just destroying those two divisions.
I got Scherzer in third. I got Jack Flaherty in second, and I got Jacob deGrom taking home the Cy Young. My sleeper is David Price, a guy that didn't pitch at all last year, maybe a little bit too old, kind of behind. I'm feeling like he's gonna fly under the radar. You got Bauer, Bueller, Kershaw up there. I think David Price is gonna just fly under the radar this year. I think he's gonna have a really good season. Let's talk about some breakout players. We each picked one in the AL and one in the NL. We'll go over to you first. Who do you got?
In the AL, I have Bobby Dalbec.
Yeah.
He's lighting the world on fire in spring right now. I'm gonna read you his numbers real quick. I know he's got like 8 homers. Let's see it. He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
He's batting .311, 7 bombs, 16 RBIs.
Yeah.
And 1,200 OPS in spring.
Yeah.
So not a bad body of work to
His on
get your
base is almost
season going.
400 too. So did they draft him?
I believe so.
Okay. So yeah.
Could be wrong.
Fourth
don't
round, 2016.
Yep. And then in the NL, I have Victor Robles. He stuck out to me this spring. The OPS is up to 945, which means he's hitting balls in the gap. He also has 5 stolen bags this spring. They've been waiting for this guy to be an offensive juggernaut since the day he came up, and it just hasn't worked out yet.
Right.
If this guy can be a top of the order, with Soto and Turner in there, then your Nats prediction of them, possibly making the wild card, I think it becomes a lot more realistic.
Right. Okay, so for me, I have Vlad Jr. as my breakout player for the American League. I think this is finally going to be the season that Vlad Jr. puts everything together. Like we mentioned earlier, he's had an unbelievable spring, and you said the Blue Jays might need a guy to break out to maybe push the Yankees. I think Vlad Jr. is a good candidate for that. NL, I got Dylan Carlson. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time over there in St. Louis, over in maybe right field. He's not having the best of spring. I think he's batting .233, but like you said, he's been a monster in the minors. So I'm looking for this guy to break out. So quickly here, who do you got in the World Series, Dylan, before we
so a little recap. I have the Yankees winning the East, White Sox in the Central, A's in the West. First wild card is the Twins due to the division they have to play in interleague. They have to play in interleague. Yeah. My wild card, like I said, is flipped. 50-50 coin flip between the Angels and the Jays right now.
Yeah.
And then the NL, I have the Braves, the Cardinals, Dodgers winning the divisions, Mets, Padres wild card game. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the White Sox and Braves in the World Series. And if I had to choose who's gonna win, I got the Braves over the White Sox.
Okay, so I got Oakland winning the division, Dodgers winning the division, White Sox, St. Louis, Yankees, Atlanta taking the divisions. My wild cards are Toronto and the Angels. I'm going to go with the White Sox and the Dodgers in the World Series this year. Kind of like your prediction last year. So
what do you got? You had to choose a winner. Obviously, you're going to the Dodgers.
I want to say White Sox, but the safe bet is to go with the Dodgers again. I think this team is going to repeat. This team might three-peat. They're that good. They're that deep. The pitching rotation. You got Bauer for another year after this, right? So that pitching rotation is going to be locked in for at least 2 years. So I don't think it's crazy to say that they can win a couple more. So, yeah, I'm going to go Dodgers over White Sox. Who did you go? You went
I had the Braves over the White Sox.
Oh, you got the Braves taking her, huh?
Hey, just remember, they were up 3-1 on the Dodgers last year.
They choked. They choked.
They did, but
they're young. They're young. They were young. Like,
yeah,
they got some experience. They are going to get there. They're a good team. This episode.
What if Scherzer gets traded there at the deadline?
To who? The Braves? Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we're talking. This episode, we're usually only like 30 to 45 minutes. This was probably well over an hour. Prediction episodes. Prediction episodes are always fun to do. We'll see how many of them we get right. Appreciate you guys for listening, and we'll catch you probably next week on opening day.
Yeah, take care, guys.